What is up, everybody? I am here with, I believe, eliminated player number 7, maybe 8. We'll put this in post when this airs. But how are you, Lauren?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Well, your season has been airing. What is your initial thought on watching your game this season?
Uh, it was really, really fun to see the behind the scenes action that was going on with everyone. Like even with Amy and Amancio in the beginning, like on my side of things, I only heard Amancio talk like twice, and then it was so good to finally hear him oh, he actually had some input in some conversations that I didn't hear about, and things like that. So there were some things that I was interested in learning. So it was really cool to see.
Going back to the beginning, when you first came into the game, was there anyone that you wanted to work with? Not just watching it back, but like when you first came in, who like had your eye the most?
Actually, Raven caught my eye first. I
That's
mean,
shocking.
I have to disagree. I have to call my best friend out, Meg. I have to totally disagree with what she said on the podcast where she said Raven is not my type of person because Megan is not my type of person.
Oh my god.
But we're like this. So just disregard that whole thing. But I
Okay.
honestly thought at the beginning, Raven's really chill. We could probably get along with certain things, like music, probably. We both have tattoos, piercings, things like that. We're both witches, so so yeah, I actually thought Raven at first. Amy, I was interested in getting to know a little bit more, and definitely Mike. Mike was very intriguing to me.
Watching it back, did you feel like you had any misconnections? Like at
Oh,
the early stage?
in the early stages, yeah, I had a few misconnections there. I probably could have tried sooner to be agreeance with Mike, because I did agree with a lot of things that he was saying, and at the end I truly believed he was a faithful. So I could have tried to open my eyes a little more to what he was saying. I mean, he literally called out Dar right before he left, and Dar is a traitor. So I think we could have all listened to Mike a little more, but we just all took it with a grain of salt because he was just, so knowledgeable on everything. So
I always like to start with Ashley when we talk about the Traitors because she was the first one eliminated, even though she eliminated herself technically. What was she like in the game? And if she had not left, do you think she would still be in the game right now?
I think Ashley killed it. Actually, she did amazing. After she got kicked off and we realized she was a traitor, I was everybody was shocked, to be honest, because she really got along with everybody. I didn't see her almost in almost every conversation people were like, yeah, yeah, Ashley, let's do that, let's do that. So it seemed like she was really on the right track. Even with her trader game, she was pushing for things and they were getting done. So I think she did a really good job, and I honestly think, Nick, she would have went to the very end if she would have stayed in the game. It's just unfortunate she got kicked out so early.
Now, a big thing that happened, and it kind of got you in trouble, is Drea and Mike's situation that Drea misheard something. And then everyone wants to talk about that situation. And Ashley, of course, wants to stoke the flame on that situation. But when you happen to be talking about it, when the other traitor, Al, comes in, first of all, what was going through your head during the whole game of telephone? And what was it like watching it back?
First of all, Nick, do we have to talk about Mike and Drea again?
Yes, yes, we
We
do.
do? Okay, all right, all right. So for me, that shit lasted for 5 days. It went on far too long. It pissed me off even more seeing it in the playback, realizing it was all about jersey numbers and things like that. So thinking about it now, but while it was happening, it was a lot of attention on Mike and Drea both, and nobody was paying attention to the side things that were happening. So when Anthony came out in the group and was like, "Hey, I think we should find out who was in the original room," that seemed like logic to me. So I was like, "Yeah, let's go with that logic." Dude, if you go back to episode 4 and see me talking to Anthony, as soon as he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." As soon as I mention Raven's name, he shuts it down completely. So, like, he had me going with that, "Oh, this is logic." Like, "Oh, she brought it out of the room. She was in the original chat. I'm trying to go with this logic." And once I got on that logic train, I didn't get off until I realized I was too late.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
I
know,
was
we
just
know.
yeah, I
We'll
was
get to your
way
Taurus
too late.
nature in a second. But
Okay.
let's circle back to Elle. Watching her like vote for you, and it did hurt your game. I feel like it hurt your
Mhm.
social game. Why were you so easily able to get past that with her?
I think a lot of it was like I remember texting Meg that night and I was like, uh, my name has been thrown out. I've had one vote against my name. I will tell you that. And I didn't tell her much, but I was like, I don't know if I should like just make a big deal out of it. She was like, no, just sit back and chill. You're good. Like, just let it go. And I
Oh,
was
so you're
like, that's
throwing
what I'm
Meg
gonna
under the bus.
yeah, yeah, I'm throwing Megan under the bus. Yeah, she told me to do all that shit. No, I'm just kidding, but, I did take that advice, and I thought it was working well for me, and, hindsight's 2020. I thought that people were looking at Elle more, but obviously they weren't. So yeah, it kinda did, like, bite me in the ass, but it was kinda weird too how she kinda just brushed it off like, "Oh, we're cool," like, it was just a mistake that I made, we're cool. So, once she came to me and she was like, "We're cool," I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna agree with her." Like, "We're good. I don't wanna press it any further."
Did you ever have like real suspicions about her after that, or no?
I actually about Elle, I actually didn't know.
Well, you had plenty of suspicions about Raven, and it went on a long time. Why? Like, what was the main reason? Was it the game of telephone?
Yeah, I think what got me started on Raven was that just, the whole thing of telephone was going on for so many days, and I'm like, the only way we can figure out how to stop this is to figure out who was in the original room with the original people. And once I brought that out to the group, it was like the witch hunt was on because I just put a huge target on myself, when I thought I was bringing logic to the group, but nobody wanted to I don't know. It was weird too, Nick, because in the playback, everybody's saying that they're suspicious of Raven, but nobody, like, grasped onto my idea of what I was trying to push for her, but I don't know. I just stuck with it, and that's what my gut was, and I just stuck with it. I don't know.
Are you usually a Taurus with tunnel vision?
I'm a Taurus with tunnel vision. I'm a very stubborn Taurus, Nick. Yes.
um, what about Anthony? There was a point where it seemed like you guys were getting somewhere. What went wrong?
Well, I think what went wrong was when we were discussing, the who brought that out of the first chat, and then when I mentioned Raven's name to him, I didn't realize that him and Raven were already like basically saying I love you to each other. I think there is a point where Anthony says I love you by accident. Like I really think there is one point. But I didn't realize all that was going on at that point. So in the very next chat, Anthony and and Anthony says, "What about Lauren as a traitor?" And I'm like, I did not realize I was already stabbed in the back before I even brought that to the group. So when I presented that to the group, I just look like a fucking idiot.
I We'll get back to Anthony, of course. I guess we have to for
Hmm.
sure. I want to circle back to Doc because I forgot. You slowly brought up to the fact that you knew Meg,
Yeah.
but it never really went anywhere. Is that somebody you wish you would have worked with more or tried to, even though he was eventually suspicious of you too? But
Yeah, I definitely wanted to work with Dot. I had interest in seeing like his gameplay and I've heard like great things about him. So I definitely was interested in like getting to know him more and unfortunately him and I somehow just didn't get a lot of chats together. And we were in a couple like three-person chats together, so I did get to talk to him a little bit more, but he was gone before anything could build on that.
now let's discuss that Mike round when he's really trying to bring some evidence against Dar. And, the podcast was up in arms about that entire round with most
Mhm.
of you faithful. Did you ever suspect Dar, at least at that point, or ever?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I messaged Dar after the show and I was like, "Dude, are you a traitor? Like, I need to know right now." And he was like, "Yeah, I was a traitor." I was like, "You're fucking joking me. Like, are you serious?" Dude, I'll tell you straight up, never, not even for a split second, not even for a second, did I think it was him. And I think he's about to win the game. I really think he's about to win the game right now.
There's this big difference of the people watching it and then you all that played it. Because I think the people watching it think that why is nobody catching on to Dar? He seems so suspicious all the time. What is it about playing with Dar that you guys know what he's saying or whatever?
I don't know. I guess we just all knew what he was saying, but Mike did not. Nobody listened to Mike. But from my perspective, I should have listened to him. Yes, absolutely. I should have listened to him. Why I didn't was because what I heard was that Ashley and Dar were two ships in the night, which makes sense to me now. They didn't talk then. But at that point in the game, I had like half a conversation with Ashley and I still didn't have I had like one-on-one with Dar. So I didn't meet him till like night 3 one-on-one. So to me that wasn't like a big deal that people weren't like having one-on-ones together cuz I wasn't having a lot of one-on-ones either. So I mean, I kinda just took it with a grain of salt, but there at the end there, I just knew in my heart Mike was not a traitor. I just knew. And you could see, like, when people are voting for him, like, I'm like, "Fuck, we're about to lose another faithful." But, yeah, I should have definitely listened to him, and I didn't.
During that vote, you were one of the possibilities of going home too, but you still voted for Raven. Was that just your tunnel vision again? Did you think maybe you should vote for Dar or somebody to save yourself?
Listen, I felt at that point in time, if I switch my vote right now, I already knew it was between me and Mike. If I switch my vote right now to Mike, like, that I'm just, like, going with the crowd, like, I wanna just have my opinion. I presented it to the group now. It's out there. Everybody knows I feel strongly about it, so why not just keep with that feeling? And at that point in time, I still didn't trust Raven, and in fact, she was getting a little more sketchier as time went on to me. Like she did the same thing again when she ran to Dar. So to me, that was like a big red flag. But again, nobody was agreeing with me. And at that point, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If someone comes to me, whatever, I'm done. I was like, whatever.
Well, let's talk about your probably least favorite interrogators, which is Anthony and Lori. Um, what went wrong in that interrogation? Because I feel like that was kind of the turning point for your game.
What went wrong is let's start with the notebook. Lori, I love you, but what did you even write in that notebook? Because all of the chats that I had with like Lori and anybody else, you can tell when she's interested in the chat. She's yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when she's not interested, she's in writing. I'm like, okay, she definitely is not interested in talking to me. But yeah, it was painfully obvious that he was the puppet master in that interrogation. Also, his question of, are you working as a team or an individual? That was an obvious question too. Like, dude, obviously a trader's going to say they're being an individual. So I felt like at that point in time, if I said I'm an individual, he's probably going to think I'm a traitor, but I don't care because I do feel like this is how I'm running my game. So I just felt like stick to your guns and things will happen how they happen.
Were you did you have any ideas of how to pivot after that situation when Anthony's just so dead set on you? Because I feel like at that point you thought he was a traitor because he's coming so hard at you. Is that what happened?
Um, Actually, I didn't even think Anthony was a traitor until I think after I was already off the game, and then I think I asked you, like, "Is Anthony a traitor?" Because honest to God, I just knew he was pushing so hard for me. I didn't think he was a traitor. I knew he was in charge of an alliance. He literally came into the vote and said, "Oh, the traitors tried to off me, but my alliance saved me." And I said, "Who's in the alliance?" And they're like, "Well, we thought we were working as a group." Like, what? So that was painfully obvious. So I think, I don't know. I don't think there was any pivoting for me after that. Um, at that point, I just wanted to call him out because he was being so confident. He's like, "We're gonna get a traitor, yeah, boy, pretty but loco. I love you, A Boogie. You're my boy." But that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that Leo confidence was
That
through the roof.
Leo, pew, to outer space. I love it. I love it. It was great.
What was it like playing with Jason, and why did you two almost get into it so hard that you went home?
I think Jason and I need to have a serious sit down conversation. We need to have our own little round table, Jason and I, because I have mixed feelings with him. I didn't, he was nice to me the whole game. He was very polite and kind to me, and he was sticking up for me in groups where, he was like saying, "Oh, I'm proud of you for using your voice and like sticking to your guns and stating how you feel." But then he did go to L and he literally said, "Lauren is coming for you really hard." And then even L pretended like he didn't say that. So, Jason, you fucking said it. And I want to know why you're still to this day. I bet you'll come on here and say you didn't say it, but you fucking said it. And I accept your apology if you admit that you said it.
I
So,
mean, it's on camera. He did say
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
like
I, I don't know if he'll remember why. We'll have to discuss it if he
it's
ever has
okay.
a next interview.
It's okay. He went with the flock of sheep. It's okay.
Well, after you were voted out, you put a target on Anthony and Raven, and then the traitors killed off Drea. Watching the end of this recent episode, what do you think is going to happen? How do you feel about the rest of the people and how they're playing right now?
Well, I actually think there is hope, as I said in live chat, for Raven. I think she just needs to find her confidence in the game. Like, she has a lot of self-confidence and awareness, but she needs to bring it to her gameplay and push her ideas. Same with Lori. I want to see these women step up and like push their ideas. Like, it is kind of down to the fellas and the gals now, so they kind of have to push their ideas because it is Dar against L, and right now Dar seems like he's leaning the numbers his way. So I don't know. I'm hoping the faithfuls can pull it through, but if it comes down to like a Dar and L type thing, I definitely think Dar's going to get further than L at this point.
Would you ever play another game? I assume so.
Yes, and I do want to let you know, Nick, everybody call me out for having a Big Brother spiral. You also can hate on me for this, but I have never watched a season of Big Brother.
I mean, I would
Never.
never hate on you for that. I
I've
hate
never
Big
watched
Brother,
it.
so it's fine. You don't have
Okay.
to.
So if you
But
want somebody that's
I
never
did. I
watched
did agree that you did have a Big Brother spiral.
okay, well, I can bring that same energy next time, okay?
What's the biggest lesson you learned if you play another game?
Uh, I guess to be more trusting of people. I didn't really wanna trust people until, like, week 3 or so, and I think I need to just open up more with trusting people and building those alliances because when it comes down to it, in most of these games, it's a numbers game, so you have to build those alliances, and I don't know, I just rub people the wrong way or something. Next time, I promise I'll bring, like, cherries on top. I don't know.
What about not getting stuck on one idea?
Okay.
Are you
That I
able to
can't
do that
promise
as a
I won't
Taurus?
do again.
Okay, I figured.
That I can't promise on, but we'll see. We'll work on it, okay? I'm going to see Meg in August, so we'll do some therapy together and I'll work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, well, any final thoughts on the season or your game in general?
No, I think everybody's great. I love everybody. Um, I want to have a reunion soon so we can cut up and just laugh about it. It was so stressful at the time. I was very emotionally invested. So yeah, it did take up a lot of my heart and my mind, and it still does. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I really do hope the faithfuls can pull through. But if they can't, I'm rooting for Dar. So
You and your little sister
sorry,
rooting for that.
Elle. I'm sorry.
Well, I will try. I don't know if I'm gonna have time, but I'm gonna try and put at least a mini reunion together next week
Oh,
if I
that would be
have time.
nice.
But
Yeah,
we'll
that would be
see.
great.
We'll see who all can make it and whatnot.
That would be wonderful.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Lauren.
Thanks, Nick. Hopefully we'll talk soon.
Yes.
Alrighty. Bye bye.
Later.